This one is called Memory. We did not know you left. No goodbye trip to the airport. It dawned on us one day that no longer did sun sparkle on your lips, catching the gleam of gold through your open laughter. We did not see your array of headscarves with little decorative fish swimming on your brow at early evenings when you came ushering in rich scents of exotic places. You were free, moving in and out of our simple lives, like a queen who must grace subjects in all her empire. So we turn our gaze to our concerns, certain that we would see you before long, because you were ours. It always felt like you'd come back to us one day in still afternoon when barracudas jumped at sea, that you'd float in on a trade wind with the smell of ribboned packages in your smile and put peppermint candy into our hands, that you'd sit on a chair placed for you under the Queen of Flowers tree in front of the house and shell green pigeon peas and make us laugh with stories of a way we did not always understand. Thank you. I'll leave it there. This is my great Auntie Amabel. Okay, so I will turn it over to MTK and Angela to announce the open mic readers.
And that was beautiful, Heather.
Thank you.
So far in the chat, I see Sonia. So Sonia, are you ready?
I am ready. Now, Heather had asked the committee people to pick something by a woman poet, since it's Women's History Month. So I'm going to read a poem by Tanya Shirley, not a famous person, but it's something that I first heard when she read at JP's Poetry Salon. And I reread it periodically when the topic seems appropriate, when I need it, and it seems appropriate for the moment. So it's called A Chant Against Fear. We need better light here. Fear of recovery, fear of memory, fear of the boogeyman who lurks behind bushes on moonlit streets, in bedrooms, in stories, fear of your mouth, fear of your tongue, swollen and numb, fear of lizards, fear of ships, fear of dead fish, fear of getting lost in your mind, fear of fat, fear of your bones, fear of your fist, fear of dreams, fear of drums, fear of your own coming, fear of the man beside you on the plane, fear of germs in the air, under your nails, on your bed linen, fear of mold, fear of heat, fear of drought, fear of storm, fear of forgetting your favorite color, your name, the names of your lovers, fear of mirrors, shadows, lakes, puddles, fear of footsteps, fear of the Bible, fear of the radio, fear of the bird song, fear of the hour before dawn, fear of begging and beggars, fear of dying, fear of falling, fear of fear of fear of fear. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia, for sharing that poem.
Yes.
Chat here. If you want to be on the open mic, please put your name in the chat.
I see someone.
Leslie's name is there.
I'm sorry.
Okay, then that's Leslie.
In honor of Women's History Month by Maya Angelou, and it's titled Phenomenal Woman. Pretty woman, wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model's size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say it's the fire in my the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my hair. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Thank you.
Angela, who else do we have?
Maria Lucella.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm following that with something, a poem that you probably have all heard a million times, because it just kind of bounces off that. Homage to My Hips by Lucille Clifton. These hips are big hips. They need space to move around in. They don't fit into little pretty places. These hips are free hips. They don't like to be held back. These hips have never been enslaved. They go where they want to go. They do what they want to do. These hips are mighty hips. These hips are magic hips. I have known them to put a spell on a man and spin him like a top. I love that poem. And I know probably everyone has heard it a million times.
I could hear it again.
Yeah, I know. And and you want to read it with some, some push because it's like, you can't read it like her, but you can, try to give it a little.
It's
Oh,
an amazing poem of self-love.
I
just love
know,
it.
right?
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
always works. Uh,
You have to give that hip poem a little
That was
a little
nice.
That's
stagger,
right.
squish.
Right. Oh, I can't find my poem, but I can read. Oh, I just lost my poem. Oh well.
Find it.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm gonna waste your time though, just looking for it. I just had it on the damn desktop. Let's see if I can find it.
Use your voice. Find it. Find it.
I know, really. Um,
Use your voice. Find it. Find it. You know who that is? Jane Cortez.
um, let's see. I think I have it. Oh my goodness. I stay, blah, blah, blah. No, can't find it. That's crazy.
Always come back.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
keep looking.
Okay, I'll
and-
come back.
yeah.
Right, Angela? If we
I'll
have
come-
time. Yes.
Because
Come back
it's
around.
kind of it's also kind of a fun.
Well, just
Good.
checking the
We need
chat.
fun.
Cynthia, are you ready?
Hi, everybody. This is a poem that I wrote for my mother. Praise the old woman gentling. Praise the rebel disowned for moments. Praise the never enough baby girl. Praise the doctor's do-good boxed in wife. Praise intelligence glaring. Praise the icon shatterer. Praise mother's spirit battling religion. Praise the fearful clutch of plenty. Praise a voice too loud to listen. Praise brass covering a ruby. Praise the lost drunk mother of 5. Praise the sober fawn teetering. Praise lips clamped, hostile and frightened silence. Praise sharp-tongued mother love. Praise agony for lost children. Praise birthday ruffles sewn at night. Praise soft arms and secret baby talk. Praise painter, mosaic maker, poet unsung. Praise keeper of teenage secrets. Praise talents given, nurtured, envied. Praise courageous error and trial. Praise the pompous proclaimer of found truth. Praise passions gifted through generations. Praise the provoker disclaiming platitudes. Praise our darling cowardly lioness. Praise clipped words and withdrawal. Praise the soul of excellence, attack, action. Praise kind praise kind words shielding doubt. Praise her, too strong for her generation. Praise 80 some years and still seeking.
You, that was nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So who else is on the list beside
John.
me?
John
Yes.
is up next.
Okay.
So I have a short poem from Gwendolyn Brooks, from the selected poems of Gwendolyn Brooks. I don't know if you can see. Crazy Woman. I shall not sing a May song. A May song would be gay. I'll wait until November and sing a song of gray. I'll wait until November That is the time for me. I'll sing out in the frosty dark and sing most terribly. And all the little people will stare at me and say, that is the crazy woman who would not sing in May. Thank you.
MTK, did you want to go next?
Yes. And put, I see that Frida's here, so put her name on the open mic too.
She says she's going after the features. So you go and then
Yeah.
I'll go.
Okay, bet. Women, we are strong. We are powerful. We are the air you breathe. We are created in such a special and unique cuteness. That's who we be. Women, extreme. We have built dynasties as well as destroy them in a blink of an eye. We definitely got that sultry side. How you want it, baby? We whisper seductively cause, baby, we knows how to get down. That is what us women is about. We come in different sizes, nationalities, ethnic groups, speaking in different languages, beautiful and diverse colors. We are all over the world. You heard. Now, we are far from being perfect. Mistakes, we definitely do that too. We are the ones that everyone comes to for support, love, and answers to understand no matter what we are going through. Oh, yeah, when we wild out, that could get messy or not for you. Our wit carry us through hurt, pain, betrayal, loss. Still, we come out on top. Now, some of us have fallen down, never to return, abused all of their lives, and some of us have no idea what the horror is all about. For the love of family and community is what their lives are all about. Yes, we are in all walks of life, from the boardroom to the White House, running $1 million businesses, countries, hospitals, lawyers, doctors, teachers, nurse, cops, chefs throughout the world. And we are mothers too. We are running things, you heard, without a doubt. We are mothers, grannies, aunties, sisters, grandmamas, or just your best friend. Women, we rock. Thank you.
Thank you, MTK. I have one from Collected Poems of Sonia Sanchez, and it's for
Thank
Sister
you.
and it's for Sister Gwen Brooks. So John, you read something by her, and I'm reading something for her. For Sister Gwen Brooks, you tell the stars, don't be jealous of her light. You tell the ocean, you call out to Olokun to bring her always to safe harbor. For she is a holy one, this woman twirling her emerald lariat. You tell the night to move gently into morning so she's not startled. You tell the morning to ease her into a waterfall of dreams. For she is a holy one, restringing her words from city to city, so that we live and breathe and smile and breathe and love and breathe her. This one sister called life. Oh, thank you so far to our
Nice.
open mic and reading, folks. It's 5:41, so I think we should get into our first feature.
Yeah, I think so too. Heather, Sonia, John.
I need a little time here because I lost the thing. So could you, is Mireya, did you find your poem?
I actually found a different one, but
Oh, okay.
it's okay.
Okay.
Yes, so
Yeah,
go ahead and read.
I could do it. It's not
Yes.
very long.
Thank you.
It is. Today, when I followed their advice, don't let 2 days go by without talking to someone in the flesh, not just the spirit dwellers. Leave the radio on, the lights too. Say your prayers in 2 languages. Tilt the coffee just so. Heat the milk for a long-winded routine. Or fly out the door. Walk under a thrush of chartreuse leaves, clusters of pollinosers, brushing spring cirrus clouds. Languish over newspapers in 2 languages. Avoid the details of death, ordered neatly with colored labels, post-its. Banish them so time slips back on honey-toned floors, glossy in the sun-splashed room now rippling with music. It is still today.
Wow.
Sorry, that's one of my widow poems.
Oh. Yeah, well, that's part of life. You could identify it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this bio. So please forgive me for the not knowing Spanish part of this. Mireya Perez-Bustillo, a native of Colombia, grew up in Long Island and Queens, New York. Writing for her is Encanto y Tejido, where her fiction and poetry in Spanish and English search to break through silence and oppression. Among her publications are Latina Self-Narratives, In la Mujer Hispana, On el Mundo, Bluey, NYU Network Journal, La Picaro y la Dama, Lord Jesus, I'm making a mess of this, I'm so sorry. The Female Body, Greenwood Press, and short fiction in Revista del Harder, Mer Fox, among others. She holds a PhD in Spanish literature, is an associate professor emerita from the College of New Rochelle, and the coordinator of Latino study groups at the IRP program at the New School University. She has read her work at Radio Wado Perspectives with Luis Reyes Rivera, WKCR Art Waves with Anne Cameron, Marlene Fallou's program, and appeared on Poet to Poet, Manhattan Cable, and Brooklyn Access across TV. She has been awarded writing residencies at Birdcliff, Vermont Studio Center, NYU Faculty Resource Network, and Dingle Writers in Ireland. Forthcoming publications include Nomad Squire, Brownstone Poets Anthology, and New School IRP Voices, Dinner with the Muse. Thank you. I also have known Mireya for a long time, and she's a friend of mine. Looking forward to hearing you, Mireya.
Gracias.
I'm sorry I messed up the Spanish.
I think it's nice to see you try something.
Okay.
Bueno, so it's so beautiful to be here, and we are in this celebration of International Women's Month. So beautiful to have this invite for that today here. You asked us to quote some woman writer, and I want to quote what my mother wrote for me, which pushed me to do something. Okay. She gave me as a birthday gift when it had just come out, the memoir of Garcia Marquez, and this is the book, okay, and for her dedication. She came from Colombia to visit, and then she brought the book that was just out, okay? And then she wrote as the dedication to the book, mi primogénita, tú también puedes, ¿ok? Lo asegura Dios mediante tu mami. So she's telling me that I can do the same that he did. He wrote his memoir. Okay, he was going to write more, but he was able to do this, and then he got sick. Okay. So this pushed me to put together this Back to El Dorado, which is a Latina coming of age story. But it was those words of my mother, tú también puedes, you too can do it. You know, and to have that written by her, you know, in her beautiful Palmer calligraphia, yeah. And she had studied in boarding school in Kingston, Jamaica. So all her life she wanted to learn English, and then she had the opportunity to be sent there to boarding school. So she was like 11, and all her life she was enamored of English because she was from Cartagena, and the cruise ships would come in at that time, and she would hear the Americans speaking English. So English became a whole thing like that. So this leads to boarding school because I grew up here. My parents then came here to the UN. My father was at the UN. And I grew up American, okay, but Colombian. And then they thought I was too American. So when I was 15, they sent me to boarding school back in Colombia. So that's what this is about. And it was published right at the beginning. We're celebrating whatever, COVID, 5 years, whatever. This came out in 2020. But I was so happy to get it out, and it was my mother's words that sent me on to this. It's available on, it was published by a publisher in California, Floricanto. Okay. So there are these women in the family, and somehow you're growing up and you're sort of paying attention to some things, but then other things you don't pick up. And maybe, you know, we're lucky. And then later, something sparks. And that's what happened with this poem. Okay. This is dedicated to my paternal grandmother, okay? My father's mother, Maria Moreno de Perez. It wouldn't leave me. It was Abuela's favorite church, the sparkling Nuestra Señora de Lourdes in central Chapinero, just a few blocks from her apartment. Excuse me. And every Sunday on leave from boarding school, I accompanied her to 12 o'clock Mass, where she was greeted by neighbors and the church goers calling her Doña Maria and the church staff. As usual, Monsignor was saying this Mass, but today he said that there was a special announcement. We all started to pay special attention.
One day we can wait and expect that of each other, but know that, everyone is dealing with
I'm
something.
sorry, there's some interruption.
They know my prayers.
Okay, I'll go back. And we all started paying special attention. And there it was, that a well-known woman, a parishioner, had committed a grave offense. We all looked around, our ears all alert. Then he named Abuela's first cousin, Cecilia, who had traveled to Panama to marry a divorced man. And we all knew that the church condemned divorce. So she had sinned gravely. So from now on, she was excommunicated, prohibited from receiving the sacraments, and outcast in the church. Cousin Cecilia, 50 plus years, had tried for years to get an annulment for Eduardo, her love, so they could marry in the church, but they could wait no longer. Abuela, daughter of an educator, niece of a president, widow of an attorney general, knew in her bones to recognize right from wrong. She waited for the end of Mass, and all 5'1" of her approached Monsignor, greeting him as usual, and then directly asked him, "Your Reverence, what happened to the compassion you have been preaching to us for so long? Is this how you express love? Cecilia, my first cousin, is a good woman, helping her elderly parents, sewing for the poor, caring for all. And you assassinate her in public? Goodbye, dear Monsignor. My family will never come here. We believe too much in love and compassion. God is in my soul, and I will continue my nurturing with him, saying the rosary and praying for dear Mother Mary." Abuela turned from Monsignor, stricken dumb with her words, and I learned what true power was. And so where are we? We're in Bogota. And what's in Bogota? How do we know that we're in Bogota? We're in the Cordillera Oriental. The Cordillera is all around us in Bogota. We're 9,000 feet above sea level. Verdigris lianas, spruce, moss, olive, emerald, willow, laurel, teal, eucalyptus, lime, pine, grass, clovers, palms, helechos, peacock, mint, parrot, lettuce, cabbage, capers, sage, cypress, not vermilion, ochre, terracotta, sienna, my Andes. And then I'm living here. I'm in New York. I'm growing up in New York. So everything that you need to know about fifth grade. She knew that the vision would come on the corner elm tree because she was so good in school. She heard that Our Lady came to the three children of Fatima and that Saint Ignatius fell wounded, then found the Lord and was saved, and that Saint Genevieve saved the city of Paris from the barbarian Attila, and that Saint Lucy gave her life for her faith, and they took her eyes. So why couldn't she have that vision too? So she stared at the tree till her eyes teared. And when she entered the church, she kissed the ground because maybe the vision would come then. Then maybe the statue of Our Lady would come to life. So she always made to sure that her shoes were shined and her navy uniform skirt and white blouse immaculate and her nails short and clean and her ears washed because she wanted to be ready for the vision. And in the classes at St. Bart's, the white habits of the Dominicans swished through the aisles fast as the sisters drilled her in grammar, spelling, and the exercises to focus on the stories of the saints, like the martyrdom of Joan of Arc, who was just 14 and a warrior and savior of her nation. And maybe that's why she wasn't interested in playing jump rope, but would walk around with the sister on duty so she could catch a glimpse of the elm tree. And then there were all those paintings, and it really bothered her because what did it show? It showed the guy, okay, they called him an angel, and they down there, that was Mary. But she knew it was different. Unannounced, she was sitting quietly in her room, a book in her hands, relaxing in her red gown, a white lily in a vase by her feet, in her parents' house of thick walls with its courtyard, with trees, shrubs, and flowers north of the Temple Mount, and her aged parents, Anne and Joachim, taking their afternoon rest. She thought she heard a flutter and the lily sway. Looking up, slivers, blue, gold, spun round her. Her eyes follow the glittered air. There he was, tall, handsome, his blue-tinged wings fanning her, the lily, her gown. Gabriel, he said he was. She knew already. Her pious parents had taught her of the archangel of revelation, the one that had come to them in their elderly childlessness to announce her birth and her destiny for great things. She had been waiting for him. It was not strange for her when he spoke the words she already knew. Hail Mary, you are highly favored. The Lord is with you. But for me, the feminine comes in many forms. So here we are at Lord Shiva's temple in Tamil Nadu in southern India, the Constantine of Chidambaram. Her unfamiliar bare feet follow the Brahmin priest, the damp stones, the cracked coconut offerings, the burned cow dung, ash bins, the fuchsia orange flower petals. Monkeys scamper around, dressed gods, pranamine pilgrims with coconut bananas for the puja. Step to inner sanctums for Hindus only. She passes courtyards where student priests recite scriptures to reach the outer gate where the she-elephant, modeled majesty, neither painted nor tasseled, waits for baby bananas to gulp, peel, and all, and rupee coins for the keeper. Trunk down, she waits for the bowed head to bless. The woman approaches. The trunk lifts to gush down, crowning her to her toes in a warmth, wet, and sweet. And what if it doesn't come big, but small? Because the feminine comes in different sizes. So this is dedicated to Paloma, the Coney Island Aquarium. It stood there guarding that corner so close to the boardwalk, but the darkness kept me away. Maybe I peeked in once, but the dark waters pushed me out. I heard beauties swam there, but the waters made the darkness fill me. But today, when La Familia said they were going there, and the little one, feeling my fear, said she'd hold my hand, I knew I could enter the waters. And then there's one that showed us the way. A moving tongue. You'd think she'd tire, her fleshy lips a constant motion. No swipe for the flapping tongue to moist, moving lips, a ceaseless up, down, no pause, lick nor resting. Labia, no, her circle of lips vibrate, a constant beat like butterfly wings, pulse, a flash of tongue through lips, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, lip to lip. Spirit, she voices, Scheherazade, that long night. And I'll finish with that there are other ways that we get somebody who teaches us, okay? So this is dedicated to Tina Turner. Watching What's Love Got to Do with It. It was the premiere week, and I was at a poetry institute at NYU, so I could meet visiting college-age daughter at the big movie house near the campus. And my Nigerian friend from the institute said he'd meet us there too. So we saved him a seat, and the drama began. Tina and Ike first, then hits and the abuse and her gathering her strength, and and then to run after him, she beat him with her heel in the limo, and then I felt the triumph of striking back, and we all yelled in the darkness, and I stood up and shouted, "Yes, hit him!" Then the lights went on, and who had come in the darkness? My Nigerian friend. And all I could think of was, how can I live this down? He'll just think I'm crazy. But he just smiled. And later that evening, he explained that he was the next chief of his village. And as the chief's son, he had different homes there, and that if I consented to be his second wife, I would have my own home and an honored place, knowing he already had an American wife back in his North Carolina University town where he taught, and that he had written that poem about Sundays spent on the porch eating fried chicken. I imagine the time in his Nigerian village would be similar. So I just smiled and let him know I was committed elsewhere. He nodded. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That was a
Bravo,
very tour de
bravo.
force.
But he-
That was
Wonderful.
such fun. A
Yes.
lot of fun.
Let's let that sink in for a minute.
I saw the
Second
movie
wife in your
too.
own home. Oh,
Yeah, I saw the movie too. I was screaming too. Beat him up. I
was
see we have, yes.
a nut standing there, you know.
I see that Kim is here. Amber is here. You know I'm putting your names on the open mic, right? I'm just letting you know. That was beautiful, Mireya.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Angela,
Mireya, definitely check the chat, for all the love that you got in there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes.
I always love to hear your work, and you bring so many vivid details in your stories.
Yes.
Let me see.
So there was a comment in the chat about the cover of the memoir, and Mireya, can you explain the artist, how the artist is related to you?
Yeah, this is my daughter Maya, who's an artist, and she did the cover, and then the photograph on the back is done by my other daughter, Karina.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you said that the words "Back to El Dorado" come from your mother? Was
No,
that what you said? What did you
No,
say about that?
no, El Dorado is what we call Colombia. That's what
Okay.
motivated the Spanish.
Yeah.
They were looking for the golden one, and
Mhm.
the gold of El Dorado.
Yeah, yes.
Of El Dorado. That's what motivated the Spanish to keep on
I
going.
see. Yeah.
But yeah, that's where the title comes back to.
Yeah.
El Dorado. Yeah.
When I was young, we had a poem in grade school about El Dorado dreams. I must look up that poem about going back to this place where there's all this gold and all that. you know, and I always thought it was a, you know, it's a fantasy. Is it?
No, no. And actually, I write about the legend of El Dorado here in the
Okay.
novel. No, it's not a fantasy. There's
Okay.
a place called Guatavita, which is a lagoon, and everybody has gone there to excavate.
Okay.
Because,
Fine.
you're familiar. It's actually an original at the Brooklyn Museum of the Golden Raft, and the cacique, the chieftain, would anoint himself in gold, and then go out on the raft, and then throw gold to the gods, the dragon god of the lagoon. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so if you look up Guatavita, okay, and all the Europeans have tried to excavate the lagoon, and they can't get to the bottom of it. You know, they always have great accidents, you know.
Oh,
Because they're not
I
supposed
can
to be there.
imagine.
They're
Wow.
not supposed
Thank
to be
you.
there.
Yeah, but that's what motivated the Spanish, okay? They had seen
Mhm.
pieces of the gold, you know, which we have in the Metropolitan Museum here, and we have in the Brooklyn Museum, you know. Right now there's that gold, it's called Gold exhibit at the Brooklyn Museum, which is really incredible, you know. So there are a few of the pieces there. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
that little piece of history. Or a present day, I guess, you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Angela, do we have people on our open mic list that we can call, or are we going to go to our next feature?
Frida, are you ready? Or did you want to go after the?
I can read.
Okay. Thank you.
I can read. If my phone will stay steady. I actually had two pieces I wanted to share, and I'm looking for it, and I'm having a hard time with the second piece. So maybe
So,
by the
Frida,
end.
just share one now.
Okay.
And then
all right.
we come back and we can do a round, you know, a round robin. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So the piece I'm going to share is called Waiting Women. And I wrote this. This is like one of the first spoken word poems that I ever wrote. And I was very inspired. This is how long ago I wrote it, is when we were trying to free South Africa from the, you know, the hegemony of apartheid. And so I'm going to share what I wrote. It's dated, but maybe it's authentic in terms of feeling. So it goes, Waiting Women. These women in their head wraps and cotton house dresses are waiting. These Black women drinking tea and resting swollen feet are waiting. These women are mothers waiting patiently for their sons to come home, looking to the corner for that certain tilt of the hat, bop in the walk. When darkness falls and it's getting late, when they don't hear that familiar whistle, they become quietly on edge. These are the young sons who have gone out for candy, for cigarettes, to a party with friends, to take their girl to the movies. If she has the telephone, she calls her friend, Jenny, you seen Sonny? She asks her neighbors, when you last seen my boy? Then she hears what she fears, last seen in the company of cops. I saw her waiting at a kitchen table in Harlem. I saw her looking out of a window in Soweto. I saw her in Birmingham, Alabama, and in Isabel, Oklahoma. I see her standing every day with other mothers in Santiago, Chile, and Sinaloa, looking for the disappeared to reappear. I saw her looking through each checkpoint in Gaza. Was it Emmett Till's mother I saw waiting? Was it Stephen Biko's mother I saw waiting? Was it Amadou Diallo, Sean Bell's mother I saw waiting? Was it Michael Stewart, the artist's mother I saw waiting? Was it Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, all those mothers I saw waiting? Was it me I saw waiting? I see me waiting on the front step, my front stoop in the Bronx. I see her waiting in the 1600s on a cliff overlooking the African Ocean. I saw her waiting in 1922 and 1967. I certainly see her now. You know, it could have been the Oklahoma Highway Patrol that got him. It could have been the prison guard in the mood for blood out in the yard. It could have been a New York City cop that shot him on suspicion, a case of mistaken identity. It could have been the United States National Guard called out for riot control. Or was he beat while peacefully demonstrating? In Selma, Alabama. There will be women waiting for a long time to come, as long as our sons, our husbands, our brothers, our cousins are brown, brilliant, beautiful, organized, other, a threat. Thank you.
I don't think that's dated at all. That's a sad thing.
Yes. Wow.
I won't tell you what age. I refuse to tell you the age I wrote that, but I updated it.
Thank you, Frida.
Thank
We
you,
have
Frida.
next in the chat we have Sam Hardy.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. The poem I want to read is called Ode to an Artist. And this is this was inspired by a sculptor named Nancy Elizabeth Prophet. And she was an American sculptor. She lived in Rhode Island. And she was of African American and Native American descent. And she was the first African American, Native American, and female to graduate the Rhode Island University of Design in 1918. And she literally suffered. You hear people say, I suffered for my art. She suffered for her art. While in Paris, she faced starvation. So anyway, this is what I wrote when I was inspired by her, reading about her. What will one do for their art when it pulls them by the heart? When every cell of your body is on fire and every strand of your hair vibrates with desire to weave, to write, to sculpt, to compose? Does the beauty come from the mind? Is it within each artist, or does it just appear and disappear like smoke? My throat is dry, my belly aches from hunger. I cannot sleep, so I remain woke. I eat at the ash of my desire to create, to paint a picture with my words that I cannot guarantee will ever be heard. I claw at the dryness in my throat, the ashes in my mouth long for the river of my mind, of my pen, stanzas of images, of creations within, my last vestibule of thought, of a crescendo, of wet clay upon a marble table, of dreams turned into fables, to stay on the page, on the canvas, in the lyrics forever. I did this. I wrote, drew, sculpted, composed with ribs showing and eyes sunken. No matter, because I know that as long as words flow and as long as children dance and the wind blows, someone will create. someone will create.
Mm.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'll put it in the chat. How's that?
Yes, please.
That was
Thank
good.
you.
Please. Thank you.
Thank you.
So who do we have next?
Is there anyone who has another poem to share for the open mic?
Is Jacqueline back?
Yes, but she's muted.
Hi,
I'm here.
Amber. Hi,
I'm here,
Kim.
Heather.
You know, I put you all's name down on our open mic list.
Kim just wrote in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Kim, would you like to yeah, would you like to share now?
Yeah.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, everybody. I want to read a piece by Auntie Shai. My tongues, I'm sorry. I want to read for Color Girls, and I don't know why I'm tripping on my favorite writer's name, but I'm going to read one of her pieces, and I hope it's not long. It's not too long, but it's not. It might be. I'll just jump in, okay? Somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff. Not my poems or a dance I give away in the street, but somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff, like a kleptomaniac working hard and forgetting while stealing. This is mine. This ain't your stuff. Now, why don't you put me back and let me hang out in my own self? Somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff and didn't care enough to send a note home saying I was late for my own solo conversations or 2 sizes too small for my own tacky skirts. What can anybody do with something of no value on the open market? Did you get a dime for my things? Hey man, where you going with all of my stuff? This is a woman's trip and I need my stuff to ab daddy. I got a mainline number from my own shit. Now won't you put me back and let me play this duet with the silver ring in my nose? Honest to God, somebody almost run off with all of my stuff, and I didn't bring anything but the kick and sway of a perfect ass for my man, and none of it's theirs. This is mine. And to Shake, my own things. That's my name. Now give me back my stuff. I see you hiding my laugh and how I sit with my legs open sometimes to give my crotch some sunlight. And there goes my love, my toes, my chewed up fingernails. Hey, you with the curls in your hair, Mr. Louisiana Hot Link, I want my stuff back. My rhyme and my rhythm, my voice, my open mouth, and let me talk you out of throwing my shit in the sewer. This is some delicate leg, a whimsical kiss. I gotta have to give at my choice without you running off with all my shit. Now you can't have me unless I give me away, and I was doing all that. Till you run off on a good thing. Who is this you left me with? Some simple bitch with a bad attitude? I want my things. I want my arm with the hot orange scar and my leg with the flea bite. I want my callous feet and my quick language back in my mouth. Fried plantains, pineapple pear juice, sunrise Josephs and tulips. I want my own things, how I lived them, and give me my memories, how I was when I was there. You can't have them or do nothing with them. Stealing my shit don't make, stealing my shit from me don't make it yours, make it stolen. somebody almost run off with all of my stuff. And I was standing there the whole time, looking at myself the whole time. And it wasn't a spirit that took my stuff, it was a man who ego walked around like Rodin's shadow, was a man faster than my innocence, was a lover I made too much room for, almost run off with all of my stuff. And I didn't know I'd give it up so quick. And the one running with it, and I'm shouting, "This is mine," and he don't even know he got it. My stuff is the anonymous ripped off treasure of the year. Did you know somebody almost got away with me in a plastic bag under their arm, me dangling on a string of personal carelessness? I'm splattered with mud and city rain, and no, I didn't get a chance to take a douche. Hey man, this is not your prerogative. I gotta have me in my pocket to get around like a good woman should and make the poem and the pot and the chicken and the dance. What I got to do, I need to have my stuff to do it. Now, why don't you go and find your own things and leave this package of me for my own destiny? What you gonna get from me, I'd give it to you. Yeah, I'd give it to you. Round 5 in the winter, when the sun is blue red and Dew City's getting pressed, if it's really my stuff, you gotta give it to me. If you really want it, I'm the only one who can handle it. Thank you.
Thank you. It was nice.
Shaki
So,
Shangay. I'm sorry.
yes.
That girl. Can I just say one last thing? I bought this book for $5.95. That's what you call old. That's what you call me and my book are old.
Yes.
Mm,
The play was nice for
yeah,
colored girls.
yeah. So are we ready for our next
So,
feature?
I think we
Yeah.
are.
Okay. Yes, I read the bio. Somebody asked. Yes.
Yes.
Jacqueline Johnson is a multi-disciplined artist, creating in both poetry, fiction writing, and fiber arts. She's the author of A Woman's Season, On Main Street Rag Press, and A Gathering of Mother Tongues, published by White Pine Press, and is the winner of the 3rd annual White Pine Press Poetry Award. She has been awarded residencies at MacDowell Colony for the Arts, Black Earth Institute, Blue Mountain Arts Colony, Hurston Wright, and Brooklyn Public Library Artist Residency. Her work has appeared in This Is the Honey, an anthology of contemporary Black poets, edited by Kwame Alexander, Little Brown, February 2024. Oh, that's new. From the Belly, poets respond to Gertrude Stein's Tender Buttons, Volume 1, Word Works 2023. About Place Journal, revisiting the elegy in the Black Lives Matter era. Routledge 2020, The Slowdown, American Public Media, October 16th. She is a Cave Canem Fellow and Black Earth Institute Senior Fellow. She has performed her poetry at the Brooklyn Museum, Montclair Library, Poets House, Long Island University, City University of New York, and the Black Roots Festival, sorry. Works in progress include The Privilege of Memory, a novel, and How to Stop a Hurricane, a collection of short stories. She's a graduate of New York University and the City College of New York, a native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She resides in Brooklyn, New York. Thank you. Ready to hear you, Jacqueline.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, John, for the invitation to be with you all. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. I just want to thank you for keeping creative expressions alive and well and dynamic. I remember when Monica started it. And I want to thank everyone who came out today to support us and share their work as well. I'm going to start with a poem that was published last year in an anthology dedicated to baby Suggs. And baby Suggs is that grandmother. She was the grandmother of Beloved in Beloved. And you know, she's also the woman that speaks in what I call the Black Free Church there. So this is a persona poem and it's called Freedom. And it's in 3 parts. 1, not 2 seconds out of that wagon, and I know one thing: I'm free. I own me. I own this body, these deep brown arms and wide hips. And I own my legs, broke down as they are. They're mine, bless my legs. I ain't never seen my face, but I own that too. Bless my name, Mrs. Baby Suggs. Damn, Master Gardener. Worked for him over 10 years and he still don't know my real name. My name is Baby, Mrs. Baby Suggs. Not Jenny, not Jenny Whitlow. Baby, Baby Suggs is my name. My husband's name, the one that run away. Henry Suggs, one I'm looking for now. 2. There are many ways of knowing. My way of knowing was to listen to the heavens, observe the shifts in scent in the wind, the way a bough shimmered in noonday sun. The messages came through the air, allowed me to see what's coming. May not always call it by name. That morning, nothing I did came out right. Curdled eggs in my pudding, 2 dead baby hogs in the yard. The meanest energy among the newly freed was so thick I could barely see anything clearly. How you gonna get past an anger 100 years deep? An anger erupting at the first sign of joy. Tried over and over, I could not clear the darkness. Just a few minutes warning for the ones on the road would have saved Seth and that baby, boys and all. Used to be folks had each other's backs, not these country city Negroes. Let envy be their everlasting God. Let envy be their everlasting God. They come to my house, eat up all my food, don't even have a gesture of kindness, not a one. Stampede and I was gazing upon the waters instead of the land and its near holy greenness, looking for a sign, any sign, when those slavers came looking for Seth. Maggot men, so sure of themselves, had a wagon and a gun. 3. Damn, Seth. How's she gonna try and kill all my grandchildren? How's she gonna try and kill all my futures? How's she gonna kill all Hallie's futures? Seth cut 4. I saved 3. I couldn't save the baby girl. Seth carried the last one in her womb with her to jail. I don't know if we'll ever get that one back. Freedom. All right, and I'm going to read across these 2 books, and maybe have a few newish poems. Starting with the poems from A Gathering of Mother Tongues, and I'm going to read a poem called "The Praise Song for Audre Lorde," and I wrote this shortly before she passed. It is looking at you in the center of life, dreads thick as your dreams, your spirit ready, homeward bound, face full, lined, yet transcended, your body without breasts, without womb, as fat and fertile with your own life. It is here, looking upon your face in the sweetness of life, that the tears come. Knowing your words, soundings, you who hold no squint eye to death, stand ready, yet still dancing your power woman dance, holding counsel between the worlds. You of the long, long faith, keeper of woman word power, more than the fury of your womb, the sleek long seeds of your thoughts catch and keep life, flower and reflower, pressing your daughters, sisters, mothers, to be more than the thread the weaver weaves, to be more like warriors and lovers, fiercely owning self, life, wealthy in their womanness. Let's see. You know, okay. This next poem is called What Keeps Us Alive, and I wrote it for my grandmother. Was this amazing woman, not because she was my grandmother, but she taught me so many lessons, and continues to. What keeps us alive? As someone who knew you before you was born, as someone who knows your song before you can speak, was my grandma who in the dark years of my life and naive wanderings of early footsteps became my Carolina sun, my we that knew me before I did. Over air, over land, through muddy waters of life, Grigri kept the pace, followed me wherever I went. In my 4th year, when I first walked the Carolina shore, I imagined she looked at me, a chocolate string bean of a girl, with more hair and lip than I could handle, and wondered, what we gonna do with this one? As she placed a bowl of okra gumbo in front of me. Later in the quilted dreams of North Star, she told me to sleep while she cleared an extra room for my spirit, 'cause she knew tomorrow was already today in my life. Under that Geechee Carolina sun, healing balm of my ancestors danced all around me. I grew flourishing on fresh fruit, song, and seafood. Still, I wanted more. Nomadic at heart, I left heading north into a time that never was but is now. Somehow the Grebe kept the pace, followed me wherever I went. In the 6 or 7 years I lived outside myself, she must have known, 'cause my dreams always took me home to my Geechee son of ancestral spirit. Some 10 years later, I hurried back to the Carolina sun. I knew very strongly there's more juju in the mojo than I can tell. Under Grandma's Septembered lids, flickering with Mount Pleasant memories, time past was lost. The future took hold in my clearing vision. When leaving again for my quilted North Star, she leaned over her years and said very clearly to me, I'll see you again. Let's see. All right. And the next poem up is Sister Suki. And I met her when I was at NYU. Sometimes you meet someone and they just imprint you. Like everything she was doing, I ended up doing. Um, Another one of those kind of quasars. She was a quasar. That's the only way to put it. I believe you came right out of the stars. Skin the color of eggplant, carried 2 braids covered your head. It was always something to watch your healer's hands turn a piece of scrap cloth into a broken slave chain, wedding band, strip quilt. You patched uneven squares of your mother's thunder, transformed yourself into an elegant African broadcloth, becoming fertile, healing, like an aquabana dancing around a slender waist in wind. I remember you worked 3 jobs too that should have gone to men. When you gave your baby back, some of the light went out of you, though you had a seer's eye, seeing auras around plants and babies, talking about times 20 years from now. It must have been a struggle to be around regular folks. You took those nobody wants you children, enduring bites, tantrum kicks, to get one word of understanding, of knowingness out of them. More than queen bee, diva, or high priestess, you wore earth shoes, chewing a licorice stick, talking long yin about cleansing, healing our bodies, our minds. Put the tunnel of understanding on all of us. We black-eyed Susans blossoming, coming Delta strong. Your spirit, a precious medallion around our lives. And I read one more poem from this book, and it's called Tango with the Blues. Naked trees dance in the midst, like Shiva's many arms, their branches surrender to wind. Rain glistens, silver by time's twilight. Trees, flowers, grass make bearable this place where I live between brick, broken languages, and the progressness of old world people. They dance, these naked spirit trees, lusting in wetness that covers them. Air breaks open, pulsing with hum of people gathering for dinner, lovers' twilight kiss of youth, dusky soundings of a midnight muse. In this mystic magic of spring, my aloneness, my separateness is washed away. Yet I am not lost, but learning the one sound of the people. For the first time, their doors are open to me. I am not afraid. Now I'm going to move on over to seasons, and I'm going to read a short poem that I wrote for my late sister, Patricia. And she was a different kind of quasar. Judo lesson. In 1967, you went to Chinatown, entered a dojo to learn judo. Discipline of using chi, breath, to turn the body's energy into power. Study to find the Buddha's laugh in your own soul. You would come after work, change clothes, warm up until time for the lesson. Good enough to earn a brown belt. A lone black woman in a sea of men. And my late sister was one of the first women to go into the dojos in Chinatown. And she had, I think the New York Times did a brief article on her during that time period. I'm not sure that she got any further than that brown belt. What the hell? This next poem is called Phyllis. It's strange. I know exactly what killed Phyllis Hyman. Constant yearning for love, grounded with tenderness,
Oh, yes.
is what she craved. Bound and caught like a slave to a manic nightmare, she learned to sing her way out of and through the blues. Bearing a body too large to hold, a body too large to hold up. Big diva lady, a woman so beautiful. How could she live on part-time, half-time, in between, co-wife, liaison, piecemeal kind of love? And this is called African Angel Goddess, and it was one of the first poems that got this book started. No ethereal illuminations for her. She was always earthbound, attracted to nightlife, music, places where folks were dancing so hard, bodies rained sweat. African angel, mother of humanity, Lucy definitely isn't her name. See her wearing silver kicking ass alligator boots. Get right in my face shouting, girl, get the hell up. She wears her halo glinting across her delta wide forehead, the harp and horn thing she left in heaven. But she'll walk you through any adversity, knowing all pathways in and out of hell. She can visit wearing many disguises, rags so dense, only the gold of her face is visible. She speaks Mandarin, Bantu, and Twi, same sweet mother tongue to her. We'll meet you at the river Styx. Boy, we're crossing over in that rickety ass boat. Might even give you a second chance, 'cause it's rebirth and life that interests her. She's in the smoke where women gather bearing arms, refusing to be raped, murdered, and made refugees in their homes. Women of war in Liberia, Rwanda, Sierra Leone. Women in Abuja, Cape Town, Harlem, Arusha. New women everywhere gather to give birth to a future we can inhabit. African angel in the middle of our middle passage, etching freedom over us, kicking us forward. New woman, changed forever. And I have two more in this book. This is called Woman's War, and this was based on uh, the woman's war that Nigerian woman did. They did a women's war in the 60s, and then they did another one in the 90s. And the poem will tell you the original Women's War was to protest the excessive taxes that the English colonial regime had brought against the market woman. And the market women at that time were one of the largest economies and wealth building machines in Nigeria. And they did a massive protest that was
Yes,
successful.
yes.
And then they did it again in the 90s when they just got crazy. So this poem references both events. It's called Woman's War, Nigerian Delta. Praises to Delta grandmothers and lapas and t-shirts, protesting low wages and poverty, push back gates of Chevron oil. Praises to all those secret society women, took over 583 acres of Delta oil land, Texaco property, staring down the ghost of their future. What if Americans had joined them, made stronger their protests? It's so hard to think of global freedom when you don't have local freedom. These ordinary women shouting for jobs block the airline terminal, stop Chevron's presidents from escaping back to Europe and safety of empires. Great grandmothers in galas and braids demand more housing, new towns, 24-hour electricity for their wealth to come back to them. Praises to grandmothers from 50 to 90, strapped grandchildren to their backs, camped on concrete grounds as husbands and children brought food each night. What if Americans had joined them, shut down Texaco and Shell Oil USA, demanded no oil sales until you do right by my sisters and escravos? For 10 days, they stopped production, took 700 workers hostage, grandmothers who were not making mash or beer, only fighting like their foremothers in 1929. Grandmothers threatening to go naked in front of male workers and foreign power brokers, shaming Chevron oil thieves into negotiation. Praises for the new woman's war. And even I have to keep up with the time. I said the 60s was 1929. So I stand corrected in my own work. And the last poem I'm going to read from this is a poem I wrote for a friend of mine, the late Leslie Holmes, who was a housing lawyer. He's a serious housing advocate in New York City. She was most active when Giuliani was mayor, and she was one of the women who would be in the back room fighting him. She was also on the rent guidelines board in New York City, and while she was on that board, she kept the rates down. You weren't getting no 5 or 3.5% increase or 70% increase while she sat there. And she was a fierce advocate for housing in New York City. A few sweet moments. Followed your cloth coat with the large chihuahua on the back for 6 blocks, claiming a friendship bold as the first yellow crocuses of spring. Even then, you were walking in the other world as you battled what was desired, touch of men, blue velvet, tickle of ocean waves with life's demands. Here she is, you said, pointing to a photograph of yourself, 200 pounds lighter. Thick brown afro, glasses, gentle slope of a woman you abandoned so long ago. Old queen, daughter of Ogun in a young woman's body, I watch you enter a sanctuary full of men and women of God, walk humbly to center stage and take over. Understood power better than most men. Taking over was easy. Making time for you as woman, daughter, friend, collided with your mass. Couldn't get you to stop, to slow down, so willing to be sacrificed. We were two big women dancing in front of Diego Rivera's art at MoMA's. For a few sweet moments, we were free. Free to view the paintings, unbothered by swell of crowds, afraid of those crazy black women dancing the samba like devotees. It was worth it, and we danced for 6 more paintings, creating briefly the space we need to live. And that was something we actually did. I was like, I want to see the art. What do we got to do? So we started dancing. And it worked. Okay, just a few more poems and then I'll pass the baton back. This is a poem I recently got published, and it took me a while to get this poem in the world, but I'm really proud of it. It's dedicated to the late Fred Hampton's wife, Akua and Jerry, who I met maybe like 3 years ago at an event. And Fred Hampton was a Black Panther activist who was shot and killed in bed at his Chicago house. And I remember that night, I remember hearing it on the radio. Um, on the morning of December 4th, 1969. Even as she covered his large brown body with her own to shield his dying as best she could, she eased out of the bed wearing only a bathrobe and his slippers, her feet sliding slowly across the floor. She dared not look over and see what was left of Fred, her husband-to-be. Her mind and heart united, focused on getting past bullets, zipping and rising all around. If those pigs, those cowards, would shoot a sleeping man, what chance did she, a pregnant woman, have? Warrior, saint, Afro Madonna, her heart was spirit clear as she placed one step in front of the other. Afro surreal, divine, most feminine, Ogun. Triple time, otherworldly meditation of dodging bullets. She walked from bedroom to the kitchen, to the front door. Don't trip and fall, she whispered to herself. Don't trip and fall. Her only fight was to save her child, live to see another day. And I have two more. Is that good? I'm good? All right. Um, this next poem I wrote I visited Brazil twice, once in 1985 and once in 1987. And I had the privilege of visiting several candomblé houses and witnessing their activism, their Afro diasporic consciousness and spirituality. And I had never been in a place like the houses. So this is called Reading at the House of Oxalá, and this was in Bahia, Brazil. Ten miedo? Are you afraid? She says, putting white, warm cowries in my hand. I release them, fixated on life-size African god carvings lining Tierro's walls. Just as fast, she puts them back in my hand over the Ifa tray. Our hands do this dance 3 times. She calls on her ancestors, my ancestors, and some saints who don't know me at all. Here one finds old languages no longer spoken in Africa. My Gitri rice covered in cassava and the longest white cloth I have ever seen. Is Marian Anderson alive, she asks. Yes, very old, but still here. She is relieved and pleased. We're talking over millennia, lifetimes, connecting small anago beads of wisdom into an ancient necklace. And I'm still learning the lessons that I learned in Bahia. I'm still processing them. And this last poem is called Oracle Series. I have maybe 3 or 4 of these poems. And I'll be reading one. How many times had she gone through the cosmic maze of rebirth? 100? She had so many names. Mama, Dita, Nana, Iya, Aloje this, Aloje that. Queen, daughter, Naima, mistress of secrets, Sangoma, seer, storyteller, liar, witch, diva, bitch, poet, Kali, Maluisa, girl, Mary, sister, woman come here, divine one, infinite beauty, Yemaja, Sarah, oracle, on and on and on they call, praying, searching her many endless paths, calling her many long-lived names. Thank you.
Wow.
I think that's all I got.
Wow, that was a lesson in women's history. Thank you.
It sure was.
Yes.
That was excellent.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Can you say the name of the first book that you were reading from?
Oh, A Gathering of Mother Tongues. And it's in some libraries, and occasionally it pops up on Amazon in weird places. So it would it's around. It lives a wild life independent of me.
Thank you.
It was a feast of,
Yes.
we were supposed to have had 3 features. I usually shoot for 3, and when it was 2, I was like, well, they're 2 powerful women, so I think they can do it right. Thank
And
you.
they
Mireya.
did.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Fire.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go, Jackie.
Thank you so much. Yes. So, wow. Angela, once again, Jacqueline, before we start the open mic, I haven't heard you in a long time. You blew my mind. Thank you.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, I
Thank
tried to
you.
pick poems that I hadn't read in a while.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely did.
like my old friends.
And I don't know if you want us all to know this, but this is a second reading for the day, right?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Amazing. And you did it when you took the water, I was like, I'm amazed that she didn't have water before. But your voice was strong.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm the only guy here.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel I feel honored being here. This has been amazing. Wow.
Yes. Wow.
Some powerful women.
For
So we
real,
have
John.
more people in the open mic who'd like to read. It's almost 7 now. So how many do we have? I
We can
mean,
do the round robin where everybody who hasn't
let's
read
say
yet.
those who haven't read because it's I feel like I'm already full and so,
You got a lot more.
I would
okay,
like,
I'll leave it to
I
you
know
guys.
you
Okay.
I would like to suggest that that it's my goal to collect the works, the printed chapbooks or actually published works of everyone in this loose circle. Of course, and so we got to make some kind of book gathering, and we bring our stuff because I want to buy everything here. I'm glad I was able
Yeah.
to collect Mireya's memoir. I'm looking forward to Kim Brandon, Angela Brown, who's my alum, and of course MTK. We just have to make sure that we make these, volumes available. You know.
Yeah. But Amber Atilia, I know you're here. I want to hear you, sis. And I want to say to each and every open micers, and we're family, and y'all are fire. Ouch.
Frida
So,
was just talking about people's work, people's published work, and
yeah,
just I saw that Sam Hardy put in the chat um, link to her book. So samhardy.com.
right.
And yeah, so please check the chat so we can keep up with each other's work. Thanks for everybody who shared.
Please.
And
Amber said that she's here. She's gonna
Yes,
read.
Amber is here. We have to hear Amber.
Yes.
Yay.
Hello?
yeah, hi.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mireya and Jacqueline, for those poems and stories. Really mighty. Thank you. So I'm going to read a poem by one of my favorite poets, June Jordan, a poem about my rights.
Yes.
Even tonight, and I need to take a walk and clear my head about this poem, about why I can't go out without changing my clothes, my shoes, my body posture, my gender identity, my age, my status as a woman alone in the evening, alone on the streets, alone, not being the point being that I can't do what I want to do with my own body because I am wrong. The wrong sex, the wrong age, the wrong skin, and suppose it was not here in the city, but down on the beach or far into the woods, and I wanted to go there by myself, thinking about God or thinking about children or thinking about the world, all of it disclosed by the stars and the silence. I could not go and I could not think and I could not stay there alone as I need to be alone because I can't do what I want to do with my own body. And who in the hell set things up like this? And in France, they say if the guy penetrates but does not ejaculate, then he did not rape me. And if after stabbing him, if after screams, if after begging the bastard, if even after smashing a hammer to his head, if even after that, if he and his buddies fuck me after that, then I consented. And there was no rape because finally you understand, finally they fucked me over because I was wrong. I was wrong again to be me, being me where I was wrong to be who I am, which is exactly like South Africa, penetrating into Namibia, penetrating into Angola. And does that mean, how do you know if Pretoria ejaculates? What will the evidence look like? The proof of the monster jackboot ejaculation on Black land? And if after Namibia, and if after Angola, and if after Zimbabwe, and if after all my kinsmen and women resist even to self-immolation of the villages, and if after that we lose nevertheless, what will the big boys say? Will they claim my consent? Do you follow me? We are the wrong people of the wrong skin on the wrong continent. And what in the hell is everybody being so reasonable about? And according to the Times, this week back in '66, the CIA decided they had a problem, and the problem was a man named Nkrumah. So they killed him. And before that, it was Patrice Lumumba. And before that, it was my father on the campus of my Ivy League school, and my father afraid to walk into the cafeteria because he said he was wrong, the wrong age, the wrong skin, the wrong gender, and he was paying my tuition. Before that, it was my father saying I was wrong, saying that I should have been a boy because he wanted one, a boy, and that I should have been lighter skinned, and that I should have had straighter hair, and that I should not be so boy crazy, but instead I should just be one, a boy. And before that, it was my mother pleading plastic surgery for my nose and braces for my teeth, and telling me to let the books loose, to let them loose. In other words, I am very familiar with the problems of the CIA and the problems of South Africa and the problems of Exxon Corporation and the problems of white America in general, and the problems of the teachers and the preachers and the FBI and the social workers and my particular mom and dad. I am very familiar with the problems because the problems turn out to be me. I am the history of rape. I am the history of the rejection of who I am. I am the history of the terrorized incarceration of myself. I am the history of battery, assault, and limitless armies against whatever I want to do with my mind and my body and my soul. And whether it's about walking out at night, or whether it's about the love that I feel, or whether it's about the sanctity of my vagina, or the sanctity of my national boundaries, or the sanctity of my leaders, or the sanctity of each and every desire that I know from my personal and idiosyncratic and indisputably single and singular heart, I have been raped because I have been wrong. The wrong sex, the wrong age, the wrong skin, the wrong nose, the wrong hair, the wrong need, the wrong dream, the wrong geographic, the wrong sartorial. I have been the meaning of rape. I have been the problem everyone seeks to eliminate by forced penetration with or without the evidence of slime. But let me be unmistakably clear, this poem is not consent. I do not consent to my mother, to my father, to the teachers, to the FBI, to Bedford-Stuy, to Park Avenue, to American Airlines, to the hardened idlers on the corners, to the sneaky creeps in cars. I am not wrong. Wrong is not my name. My name is my own, my own, my own. And I can't tell you who the hell set things up like this. But I can tell you that from now on, my resistance, my simple and daily and nightly self-determination may very well cost you your life.
Wow.
Thank you, Amber. My goodness.
Woo-hoo.
Wow,
Great,
wow.
Great reading.
fire.
Incredible.
That's amazing poem.
I have to agree.
Oh my goodness. Wow. We could also identify.
Each and every one of us. And that's deep. Wow. So do we go back to our open mic, Angela?
Amber, there's a request for you. What was it? Somebody's asking if you can pretty please if you can do one of your own poems.
Oh, yes. That would be
Yeah.
nice, Amber.
Okay, it'll be an old one. Y'all know I haven't been writing. Wait, let me look something up.
Okay.
Okay. Oh shoot. Okay, hold on.
We got time
Okay.
for you.
So I'll read this old piece, okay? Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When the end is near, I will miss the women-lined walls of Tony's Pizza, jewel-toned mouths ordering Zeppoli's extra sweet, will miss the urge to fry bacon in my vegan lover's favorite pan, miss the morning after picking over produce Paul's grisly limbs of ginger, weary avocados admiring the way a banana arcs into the scarlet cave of a stranger's mouth. 6 a.m. conjuring memories of 1988, shoeless mother shaped staggering through the door after basement drug busts. I, a fuzzy-headed waif waiting up the night mama bled like a goth miracle from the gums and V of her arm. I will miss the burning cathedral of arms, sweltering epidermis that scorched its praying patrons. Nana cupping the glittering ash of what was left of her only daughter. Nana blowing my scarred cheek as if it were soup. I will miss Nana, the cool kiss of aloe, a god for what it cures. And the knocked up saint I was at 19, lushalicious, hopping trains on an island small as a condom. Apologies to the stowaway who stormed the silk of my womb, who I gave away like a carnival prize, sent my heart tumbling deep into my body's underworld. And the butch whose arthritic day laborer hands fished it out of grief's clogged gutters. A bulldagger who did not one night stand well, made me smile brilliant watts against the chaos of New York City, will miss the quivering steeple of legs that carry me against the traffic of engines snarling gray and muddy, green on the Bowery where I've lost nearly all my lives to yellow cabs. How their mohawked ads become a blur when I stick out my trigger finger. Its black skin shoots fear into an apple, thick with bulging pockets of thieves, bulging eyes at anything that shimmers in the dark. The whole foolish fucking world of poetry I will miss. The rock star wag of black tongues retraining English. A dog too dumb to roll over, so we marimba its spine for death fugues. For the lady who grabbed my hand at a protest, outrunning cops, bold blue barricades drawn around the manic and rising smoke of insurrection. Rubber bullets turning rebels to battleships sunk into cracked tar streets. Will miss the intuitive reach of hands in bars and back rooms behind crushed velvet curtains, the chanteuse sequoia tall, goddess braids, neon acrylics unclasping my lucky bra. Her name Spanish for faith or hope or wish in a space lit with shadow. The heady scent of sex. Heathen fuck, I will miss your love of Black women, Camel cigarettes and tonic gin, your disdain for monogamy, for permanence of any kind. And when the end is near, I hope to be with you. Hope to debunk the myth of sweet dirt, to be the only dyke no spell can zombie, no root can raise.
Are you happy, Cynthia?
Thank you, Amber. So, Angela, do you think we have time for a round robin? We have some amazing poets.
To say that we are going to be meeting, we'll go on, but I just want to say this in case people need to run out. We shall be at, this is March, so the next month is April, and we are going to be at Dada on April 8th, which is a Tuesday, going away from what we normally do. It's their literary night, and this is Dada in Queens. We went there last month for Black History Month, and it was wonderful. It's a lovely little cozy space, and it was so nice to us. We must go back. I think I was looking to see, I think it's 7 p.m. Yeah, their events start at 7 during the week. So we hope that you will join us there. And those of you who can't join us, stick with us, listen out, because we're trying to put together a hybrid event, right? So, we hope that some of you will make the trip, but if you can't, we'll also we're working towards that. So just keep in touch with us. So we'll keep in touch with you for April 8th for Poets Month.
Can I say just one thing?
Sure.
Mireya
Yes.
Perez-Bustillo is going to be reading. She's here with us tonight. She'll be reading next month at Dada.
Thank you. And who else is going to be
Okay.
reading? Because I forget. I've forgotten. Who are the other readers for that? Sean, do you know? I know you know.
I don't have it offhand. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I don't have it here, but certainly, Mireya, we'd love to hear more of your work, Mireya.
Thank you. I look forward to it. It's
Mm.
kind of a really cute place.
Yes.
Not very easy to get to with subway, but but it takes a little while to get there, I think. But it's very cute. They're very friendly.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm definitely going next month.
Oh yes,
Do
we're
you
on
have to
the
take a
program. Just a minute. Yes, I was just looking it up, but I couldn't. We're on the program. Create Dada Literary Cafe, Creative Expression Salon, and Open Mic, April 8th at 7 p.m. So there you know, we're gonna be there, and we may be
Okay.
online as well. I hope we are because I'm here in St. Kitts, so I can't take the trek there, right? So I will be there online. Okay, carry on.
So, Angela,
I
all
don't
our
see
open
anyone else in the
micers,
chat.
one poem. One. You got the list?
We want to wrap up. Somebody said they had to leave it. Angela has to leave. Is it you, Angela? So if just let's is there somebody else who'd like to read? And I feel badly because we're over time.
I will say, I
Yeah.
did look up the names for next month.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
Korea, we're also going to be having Patsy Eiffel and Ji Young Ko. So it should be amazing.
True. And it starts at 7:30 or 7. You said 7 to what time?
7 to 9.
Yeah. Okay.
And the
Okay.
address is in the chat. The address of Dada is in the chat.
Okay.
Did anyone else want to share a piece?
Angela, you have anything you would like to share?
Well, first I got kicked off for a second, so I saw that Sonia wrote something in the chat. Did she go yet?
No. Sonia, where are you?
Okay. So
I'm
Sonia,
Read.
Okay, I'll read one thing. These are
Okay.
my Trump era poems. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 second at a time. The chaos president is now the Pinocchio president. Is he lying, or has he simply forgotten current history? The Pinocchio president says the Ukraine president got the US to give Ukraine $350 billion. It was actually $119 billion. The Pinocchio president says the Ukraine president went into a war that couldn't be won. Ukraine was invaded by Russia. The Pinocchio president calls Zelensky a dictator without elections. 63% of Ukrainians don't want any elections until the war is over. The Pinocchio president's envoy to Kiev canceled a meeting because the Ukrainian president said bad things about the envoy's boss. This all matters. Can other countries trust a country's leader who lies constantly? One day at a time.
I'm over here cracking up because it's so true, Sonia.
True and so sad.
Wow. So, anyone, please? We're having a good time. I have something. I have many. May I?
Go ahead.
There have been many women throughout history that I read about, that was in the history that I admire, and this is totally our month. In my time, I want to honor Nikki Giovanni. You have ascended to our ancestors. Your deeds, teaching, educating those that were blessed to had you as their teacher, professor, family, and friends in their lives. So many young people, including me, powerful, wise queen, taught us our history of who we are, Black power. You, Nikki, came into my life many years ago when I heard you speak and raise your fist high, saying, Black power. I have learned from you our Black history back then, right now. You're standing with our Father God and the great kings and queens who you descended from, Black Queen, taught and opened the doors for many, 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 including me, all ethnic groups, languages. Wow. You taught me. I know who I am. Thank you, Queen, Professor. You will be missed. And that is for Nikki Giovanni. So who else would like to read?
Sam.
Okay. Let's see.
Hi, Sam. Yes.
Hi.
Sam, come on.
I wrote this right after the day after the election. I wrote this. It's called Crushed. Crushed, an old person's view. That's what it's called. The other shoe fell again. The penny dropped. I don't know why I keep expecting things to change when things keep turning to rot. I feel life is just one big gut punch. When I keep expecting the best, I see now there's no rainbow at the end of this horror-filled quest. Maybe I'm just old and tired. I did my part though, and I kept on hoping for a win until it was down to the wire. I'm numb in this election. I think it broke me in two. I had my heart set on Kamala, and now I don't know what to do. Will I lose my Medicare? Will I lose my disability? If so, what in the world would end up happening to me? Why do so many people choose hate over love when the world would turn so much better with a soft touch than an iron glove? I'm lost. I'm just so down and sad. I feel I keep losing everything good I ever had. It sucks to be old and alone and watch the world turn upended, knowing what could be done if only people wanted things to be mended. But hate and disharmony seem to drive those in charge of our great land. I've no place to hide, no place to run. Even if I could, I can't. This poem doesn't even rhyme anymore because I can't be arsed to do it. Where's my freedom and liberty gone? I woke up and it was gone before I knew it. Like I said, I wrote that the day after the election, so I was pretty depressed.
Nice. Wow. I agree.
I think you were saying what we all felt, still probably feeling, you know.
Right.
But we have to do the work and we have to fight somehow, reach for the positive.
Almost definitely. And we got 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, of BS.
That's if the
There
rats
is.
don't eat each other's tails. I mean, I'm not waiting, but you know, yeah, I'm waiting.
Time goes by fast, but it's going to be funny as hell. A lot of people are going to be thinking, why did I do that? But anyway, Maria,
I'm
do you
waiting
have
to hear
something
that
for
too.
us?
That's the other thing I'm waiting to hear is people saying, "Oh, I made a mistake voting for him." I haven't heard that
Whoops.
yet.
Okay. In the chat, I see Cynthia. You want to read one more?
Yes.
Yep.
Love to, thank you. This is also topical, except I wrote it in 2015, but here we go. It's actually based on a poem, on a talk that I heard with Toni Morrison. She's talking about evil needs a costume. Evil's got to have a costume because it's boring. That's right, folks. Step right on up for a big pack of nothing much that will nevertheless get right up to the edge of completely ruining your lives. And or right on over that edge. Evil in tap shoes, evil with a white-capped smirk. Evil blaringly paired beneath the glaring lights with someone half its age and not near as smart. Evil lurking and mostly, and to the benefit of more evil, glorified, lifted to the spotlight of pretend don't want to be. Evil so excellently paraded. What have you got to say for yourself, evil? Well, I say, thank goodness for the exponential expansion of the number of decimal points needed to delineate the length of the average person's attention span. I say, I got whatever it is you think you need so bad that it causes you to forget nature and space and small examples of kindness. I say, looky here now. It doesn't matter if it ain't much. It's all you ever need. Lights, camera, reaction. Evil is a lot like good. It is intention. It permeates. But unlike good, it flourishes best when its wonders are proclaimed.
Nice. Wow. And so true. Wow.
That might be a good note to end on, unless there's somebody with a burning chest. Going. Thank you so much for coming tonight. It's been a really lovely. Thank you for the features. Thank you for just ripping it up. And thank you for the open mic, which I always think is our strongest suit.
I enjoy amazing, Heather.
And we'll see you virtually
next month
for me and in person on April 7th. I'm sorry, April 8th. The 8th of April. Yes, April 8th at 7 at Dada. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Beautiful, amazing reading tonight.
Yes.
As always, John, as always.
It was really great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Jacqueline. Beautiful as always.